So is it morally wrong to go on a date for a free dinner? Asking for a friend, of course. Okay. A recent survey found that 28% of participants would go on a date for a free dinner, and 31% would consider dating someone for their wealth. So is this really such a bad thing? What do we think?
In this economy? Listen, I totally get it, and I'm not gonna judge. Times are tough. And there's that saying, you know, your first marriage is for love, the second one is for money. I mean, you can use all of the sayings here. For me personally, it's not as much about the money, because I can always take care of myself. I've got my own money, and I take care of everything very, very well. However, I think that should be for all women, honestly. However, when I got together with Ryan and I thought this could potentially be something, choosing your partner is the single most important decision you're gonna make in your life if you choose that. Not only for love or your future, but for finances. Let's be honest, it is as much a business transaction, getting married, as it is anything else. And so for me, Ryan was working for another company when I met him, and very quickly we're like, what kind of future do we want together? What are the finances gonna look like? And I said to him, I think you should start your own company, and I think you should quit. And I said, I will bankroll this whole transition.
Wow.
Why? Not because of anything, but he has ambition and he has hustle. So I believed in the fact that no matter what, he was gonna turn some lemons into lemonade. And now he's making more money than me. And so it worked out.
You believed in him. And what's funny is like my story with Simon is very similar, only it hasn't quite turned out the same as yours has, but I continue to believe in him. He's hit a number of roadblocks. He's a writer. It's not an easy thing to do or to be successful at it. And he is struggling, and I see that, and it's hard for me to watch him struggle, but he refuses to get up. That's what amazes me. He doesn't stop writing any day of the week.
Hustler.
He's a hustler. And it's difficult though. It is certainly difficult, and I won't give up on him. But what it makes me think about is dating for wealth. I wouldn't trade Simon in for a new Mercedes-Benz, or you know what I mean? Like,
for some rich guy that you're not in love with.
For some rich guy that I wasn't in love with.
Yeah, well, with the dating situation, I don't like a woman using a man for a free meal, because what you don't understand is that goes on to the next woman he dates, and then these guys get a little like, you know what, I'm not here to just shell out and get you a free meal. I'm looking for a real relationship, and we have to keep that in mind when we are using these men, but still expecting them to treat us with respect and take us on dates. So we have to keep that in mind. But I think this all depends. The woman asking for money, sometimes I feel like we get vilified for asking for a partner who has money. Yeah. And I think it depends on who's asking. If we're talking about a young woman who has ideas of just buying expensive purses and shoes and doing her makeup all day, and she wants someone to, you know, pay for that lifestyle, well, that's different. But if we're talking about a woman who went to university or college, whatever, and she owns her own home, she works really hard, and she's just looking for someone to add to her life, her matched equal, there's nothing wrong with asking for a guy to have some money, because it's really challenging. And anybody who's dated someone who's broke, I've done that several times, it is really challenging, because you want to do stuff and you can see it in their eyes that they want to do it with you, but they don't have the funds. So then you kind of find yourself either compromising or paying for everything. And I think after a while, as much as some people don't have a problem with it, eventually I think it wears the person who's always doing all of the pay.
So what do you think,
Yeah, I mean, it's complicated. I certainly, when I was out dating, everyone I knew was poor. Like, everyone was in the same way. We were all struggling artists, and so I dated, like, again, a musician, a painter, like a mattress salesman. Like, it was a bit of a mixed bag of things, but no one was making any money. And Jason came along, and what I did like about him was that not only did he have ambition, but he already did have some secure work. Like, he was already working. It wasn't just like, I want to work in film, like a dreamer. He was actually already starting to make connections. But having said that, if I could go back in time, I might give myself the advice to at least just go into spaces where there might be wealth to encounter. I'm just saying. The reason why I'm only saying this is just because I never dated that. Like, I'm making assumptions about, like, I wouldn't date for money. And it's true, I wouldn't date specifically for money, but I wouldn't also knock someone just if they have money.
No.
At all.
No,
but
that would be inappropriate.
I wasn't running in those circles at all. So I certainly wouldn't, listen, you could not make me love someone just because they have money. Not in a million years. I would take poor and lovely over that any day, but I just would have been open to it.
Oh, interesting.
You.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.